Boy, oh boy, we have quite a bit to talk about. We'll touch on Crown Jewel. We'll touch on 205 Live and NXT and dabble a little bit into Impact Wrestling before their big show that they're having next week. But I'm your host, as always, Tony, with my co-host, the bizarre one, Dave. How you doing tonight, Dave?
I'm doing good.
All
How's
right, good.
everyone else doing?
Good to hear. Good to hear. Don't forget, we're also live over on YouTube. So if you want to join us over on YouTube as well, you can go jump over there and hit that subscribe button if you don't mind. We're at
Are we
80.
live on? Go ahead.
Yeah, we're live on YouTube as well.
No, I was
Uh,
going to say SoundCloud.
no, not yet. That
Oh,
will
okay.
be set up for next week. I'm going to be having our SoundCloud up hopefully by next week, getting all the audio and stuff taken care of. So yeah, it's going to be back to SoundCloud, everybody. So hopefully everybody can follow us on there as well, so you can listen to us on your ride home or on your ride to work, however have you. Would be very appreciated. So let's jump into Crown Jewel, where
All right.
boy, oh boy, what a show we got Friday afternoon. I'm not sure how many people in the chat room watched it live or maybe watched some tidbits of it. But I know you, Dave, didn't watch it live, but you did watch the full show later on during the
Yes.
day. Thank you, Jeffrey Cross, for the super hearts. Really appreciate that. And wow, what a night we are! What an afternoon that was. First off, I think we all had to come with this show with a grain of salt, that we had to know that the show wasn't going to live up to any type of the hype that we have been getting from the WWE. What past 2 maybe months that they have been hyping up this show. Um, and boy, did they deliver. First, we had Hulk Hogan come out to get you guys, I guess, going for the show, or I guess really the crowd going. The crowd gave him a nice little pop. I was kind of surprised. They were cheering on Hogan. They gave him a nice little pop as well. Any thoughts or comments on what you thought about Hulk Hogan's return? I know it's been a lot of heat from a lot of people that they didn't think it was right for WWE to bring back Hulk Hogan. And it seems to be a lot of comparisons to Hulk Hogan and China these past.
Yeah, I've been hearing that too. Yeah.
And it's
But
been kind of interesting.
yeah, I wonder before we get there. I'll say what I thought of it really quick. How it looked. You know what? It looked it looked good, and we got the fireworks on display and all that. And everyone's been talking about, oh, we can get fireworks there, but we can't get them here and all that. Well, that's because they pay millions and if not billions of dollars
Right.
for this show. That's why. And I mean, is fireworks really a pyro, whatever you want to call it, really that big of a deal for Raw and SmackDown? I
Well,
mean,
here's my comment on the fireworks, because I was one of those guys, and there might be some in the chat room that were kind of upset that they got rid of the fireworks. And some, in my opinion, entrances need the pyro. Like Brock Lesnar, some entrances like that need the pyro when he does that certain, that puts the fists down and in wars. I think that dues for the fireworks in the background, but that's just my opinion.
yeah,
But
I mean, I understand that part. Go
for
ahead.
me, the fireworks, when they're actually used, makes it feel that more special. It actually makes me enjoy it a lot more. And back in the day, we got what, fireworks
Yeah,
on every show. Now we get it on maybe two shows a year, which is WrestleMania and this glorified house show. Did they do this at the Australia show with the fireworks?
I
I
don't
can't
think
remember.
they did. I don't remember, but I don't remember it standing out. Maybe they did. I just can't really remember that. But fire. I mean, yeah, I get that when we're so used to it. Like when we were growing up, even this last few years ago, before they stopped it, we were so used to Raw kicking off with the big firework display, the boom, boom. That's how Raw would kick off, and you don't get that no more. But imagine how much the pyro cost,
Thank you,
WE.
Dr. Huge. Really do appreciate it.
I
I'm
mean,
sure that took a big budget.
yeah,
A lot
it
of big
has to
budget. Yeah.
be 20, 30, if not 40,000 for pyro they spend probably in a regular week. So if they're doing it once, but doesn't it make it more, just like we say with Brock Lesnar? doesn't it make it more special when you get the
Right.
oh wow, you get
Wanted
the
to
firework?
see some of those fireworks go off. And I was thinking to myself, look at Bobby Lashley getting those WrestleMania pyros. That you better eat that up because that's probably the only time he'll get a fireworks display like that. But let's continue on with the show. And we'll touch
All
on
right.
the whole controversy that there have been talking about with Hogan and China. And it's the reason why I bring that up is because I just listened to the Bruce Pritchard podcast. I don't know if anybody else listens to that as well. Where they kind of touched on Stephanie McMahon and Triple H's whole wedding, and they brought up China. So it was just kind of interesting timing that I listened to that, and then we're getting all this backlash between these two. But we'll touch on that in a little bit. So the opening match, they
So you
started
want to
off.
talk? So you want to talk about the Hogan thing with China, or you want to go to the match first?
Let's go to the matches first because I feel like this is going
Okay.
to be a topic that we might touch on for quite a bit. Again, thank you, Dr. Huge, for the Super Hearts, Jeffrey Cross, and Speeds as well. Thank you guys all for sharing and retweeting the broadcast. Appreciate that. And joining us on your Saturday evening as well. So thank you guys for taking time and popping in with us and interacting. I see all these interesting comments, especially Speeds touching on Booker T had a convicted of multiple armed robberies. Regal urinated on a stewardess. We've let that shit slide, but Hogan is still a bad guy. Yeah. It's a lot of hypocrites, and I've seen a lot of people tweeting about Hogan. It's kind of crazy.
Hey, MVP too. MVP was another one of those guys who was incarcerated too, I believe,
Right,
and
a
had a
lot of
rough life. Yeah.
some. Well, wait. Okay, so we had the Crown Jewel tournament matches open up the show, and they went through 4 matches, everybody, and an hour and about 10 minutes, which is
Yeah.
kind of breathtaking that they had those many matches in that time span. But let's touch on the matches themselves. We had what were the exact matches? We had Kurt Angle take on Dolph Ziggler, Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley. On the SmackDown Live side, we had Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton, and The Miz taking on. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Who was it, Dave? Who did
Jeff
the Miz?
Hardy.
Jeff Hardy. Thank you very much. So Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton opened up Crown Jewel. I guess probably the smart way to do it to get the crowd going. Two guys that the crowd really know. What did you think of the match and Rey Mysterio picking up the win?
You know what all these matches had in common?
What's that?
5 minutes. They all went 5 minutes long.
Did they? Let me go check that real quick.
Or a little over 5 minutes, but all of them went right around 5 to 6 minutes long in the first round. I mean, I was like, really? About 5 minutes, maybe six, maybe a little over six, but maybe close to seven. But they were all really short matches.
Yeah, well, yeah. To be honest with you, the pre-show match went longer than the first 5 matches. So there you go. Oh, first four. Excuse me.
Yeah, but it was just disappointing because I was like, it's over that quick, really. And the same thing with, I wasn't surprised Ray won, but it was just like, okay, maybe it's just that. That's all I was thinking. Okay, they ended this match quick. Maybe Ray's gonna wrestle a few times. Maybe that's why it's only 5 minutes long. Then we get to, I mean, the match you couldn't really settle. You can't settle in. We've said this before too. Even when they did these Divas matches and they only give them 5 minutes, or women's match only give them 5 minutes. You know, it's like you can't really have a match in 5 minutes.
Yeah, and the match did go 5 minutes and 30 seconds. It was kind of a quick match. I guess the real story of the match was what happened after, where Randy Orton attacked Rey Mysterio, injured his ribs. So they were playing up the storyline where Rey Mysterio had hurt ribs. So there you go. That was one of the storylines building up in the tournament. Next match, we had The Miz and Jeff Hardy. This match went 7 minutes long. Any quick thoughts on this match, Dave?
No, just the fact that I noticed it was another like short match, and that's what kind of disappointed me about this. These I'm like, why are these matches so short? I thought with these wrestlers we would get a little bit. I get they're wrestling more than once, but we would get a little bit of time. But
well,
yeah, I mean,
we'll see why, because the main event.
I know. The main event needs
long. 27 minutes.
Geez, did it need that long? Seriously, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker. I guess they did because 20 of that was probably for the entrances. So.
Oh my goodness, 27 minutes. Holy shit. The next match was Seth Rollins defeated Bobby Lashley. And I tweeted this out.
How long?
5 minutes and 30 seconds, just like the first match of the night. And it just didn't seem right between the two. To me, it just didn't look right. Bobby Roode did mention that this was their first time actually wrestling each other, so maybe the chemistry wasn't all there. I was actually surprised Leo Rush made the trip, but that just shows you that Leo Rush is a very important piece to Bobby Lashley. That they put
No,
Leo Rush on the show with him because he could have just been by himself.
yeah, but that's wrong because you know what that shows me, and if we've all been reading it, I'm sure that Vince McMahon loves Leo Rush, and that's what it says to me. Vince wants him. Vince loves Leo Rush, and so I mean that's the word going around. Vince feeds him all his lines, and he loves Leo Rush. He loves how he works for Lashley. So
Lashley.
yeah, and you know what? This match was another one. I felt it ended. I was like, wait, that's it. I mean, I was like, man, Lashley and Rollins for the first time ever, you only give them 5 minutes. I mean, let them give them more than that to fill each other out, to be able to get in a groove. They didn't have much time to really do anything in the match.
Yeah, well, within 5 minutes, and yeah, and like I said, they did not have the best chemistry. Maybe, hopefully, we'll see these two guys go again because this is a match I was actually looking forward to. But
Yeah.
I know Bobby Lashley is hurt, but the match was not very good. So important. Lashley was given a 5 minute match. I mean, I'm just saying that Bobby Lashley could have easily went out there by himself. This is a super show. They didn't need to bring Leo Rush along with him, but hey, Lashley needed Leo Rush, and Lashley got Leo Rush by his side, but he just didn't pick up the win. So Seth Rollins advances. Next match was Dolph Ziggler taking on Kurt Angle. This match went 8 minutes long, and I was
Wow.
actually shocked that the outcome was Dolph Ziggler picking up the win over Kurt Angle. Uh,
Cleanly.
yeah, and I didn't. This was probably I don't want to say an upset, but definitely a shocker. What is your thoughts on this, Dave?
I mean, yeah, I mean, the match, to me, this was another match that was getting good and then it ended. It was type thing. It was like, wow, Dolph's going over. I mean, it's also like, what's the point of having Drew with you if you're not going to use him? He's not going to help you, but we find out later on he does. But to
Now,
me, he should have got involved in the match, but he didn't.
what did you think of Kurt Angle?
But I thought he looked okay, but I thought he see a guy like Kurt Angle gets better with time in the ring, and I think if they would have went 10 minutes, but I get the other guys have to wrestle again. I get that, but still, I mean, I think the match could have been better because I think Kurt gets so much better, and maybe it's his age too. It could have had something to do with it, but I think he gets better. Like we've seen when he was in TNA, when he goes those 15, 20 minute matches, he really gets better and better. So some guys, I think it might take a while, like a Lashley too, is to like warm up, you know. But yeah, I mean, Kurt looked okay for being his age. I mean, age definitely wasn't a thing about tonight.
Ooh, Adam Bomb says maybe it could be for the IC championship, referring to Lashley. I like that.
You know what else I noticed about throughout this whole show? I'm sitting here watching it, getting to the main event and stuff. I'm not going to go into a lot of this, but I was like, did they cancel the tag match? Because I haven't heard them speak one word about the tag match throughout this whole show.
Well, speaking of the tag match, that's the next match on the card. This match,
not that tag match, but the other tag match.
I got you.
I didn't hear him speak about the DX and Brothers of Destruction match one time during this whole show. I'm like, did they cancel it?
Oh, maybe they kind of put it. Finally, they hyped it up so much. They talked about it so much. I think
I know, but I was expecting throughout the whole show them to be talking about the DX versus Brothers of Destruction, and they didn't mention it like one time until they got to the match.
So SmackDown Live tag team titles were on the line, 10 minutes long. The bar goes over the New Day with the help of the Big Show. Any thoughts on this? Do you think we're going to see the continued feud between these? I mean, I'm kind of SmackDown Live tag team division is very slim at the moment.
Well, it's because they don't use any other tag teams.
Yeah, well, they don't really use other tag teams. But can you name 5 tag teams on the SmackDown Live division? Other than the Bar and the New Day and the Usos?
You have, I think, the Club.
1.
You have crap. Who else is there? What channel is or what show is Primo and Epico on?
Primo and
Are they on
FTR.
SmackDown? I think they're on SmackDown. I can't remember, but I mean, yeah. I mean, that's a good question. I mean,
Sanity.
yeah, but can you name more than? Okay, give me more than two tag teams on Raw besides who? I don't know. I guess you can a few, but to me, SmackDown's tag division is a little more deep, but it doesn't really seem like it. I guess because they don't use a lot.
The tag
But
division
yeah,
is not very good on SmackDown. They only really use three tag teams. Sanity is on the SmackDown Live roster, but they're not being used. They have been doing stuff on Twitter, kind of. I don't even really know how to describe it, but they're definitely trying to continue to be relevant.
you know what's crazy? Nikki Cross gets more TV time in the last month than Sanity hasn't even been on SmackDown
Sanity,
at all.
honestly, yeah, the Bludgeon Brothers 2DX, that's another tag team,
But
but
they're injured.
yeah, they're hurt. Um, yeah, speaking of Nikki Cross, she's probably benefited the most since Sanity has left.
Yeah, exactly. I especially the last. Yeah, especially we'll get there, but especially the last few weeks, she's become like a huge star in my opinion in the last month. But yeah, we'll get back to. I didn't think the tag match was that bad. I thought it was good. I liked how they did it. I thought it was interesting, and I liked the finish, having Big Show get up there and knock him out. I mean, I like this side having Big Show be like a manager type thing. I would like him to lose his ring gear and come out in like a suit or something like that if he's going to be like the manager or mentor
Yeah,
role.
that would be nice. That would be pretty cool to see. I don't really have too much of an issue with Big Show. Of course, the running joke with Big Show is that he turns face, he turns heel, and blah blah blah,
Yeah.
that and that. But hey, if he came down as a professional manager, Sue kind of took this job as he doesn't really need to get in the ring. Obviously,
Yeah,
they're
he
using
doesn't.
it as this type of a wrestler because he's with the New Day and there are three people in there. And we're probably going to get another rematch, I would assume, on Tuesday night.
Uh,
Um,
his paycheck was super good because he doesn't like to fly at all.
the
So, I
world,
mean,
yeah, the world's largest manager. There you go, architect. That's perfect. Now, do you think this is a feud that's going to continue,
probably.
or you see
I
them
mean,
going up against the Usos?
which is probably likely because, yeah, we don't know what the hell's going on with Raw because they need to figure out their tag team division quick.
Yeah, definitely. So,
Because we got to have a tag team. This is funny because if we go Usos versus the Bar next, I mean, that's interesting because they fought at Survivor Series last year. So, I mean, it'll definitely be interesting to see what they do. And when you watch, go ahead.
now, see, I was going to say now that the Bar won, and it's looking like we're getting title versus title, Ross versus SmackDown. What are they going to do there? We already had a match announced. We'll get to that later on in the show. What are they going to do on the Raw side with the tag versus Raw tag versus the SmackDown tag? That's what I'm wondering at the moment.
Yeah.
It's going to be very interesting to see
Are
what
they
they
just
do.
going to cancel that and just do like they're
The
going to
five
pick
on five mix kind of stuff.
and yeah, mix that in a little bit? Because when I was watching that tag match, I was like, man, I really wish Sheamus and Cesaro would drop these titles because they could really add to the main event division or
Yeah.
even the U.S. title division. Imagine
Yeah.
Cesaro or Sheamus as U.S. champion. I mean, they could really add to either.
Definitely a win and lose situation with that one because you you gain two pretty good singles wrestlers, but then you lose a tag team, and that will definitely hurt SmackDown Live as well. So
Yeah,
let's
I
move
agree.
on to the next World Cup matches. We had The Miz take on Rey Mysterio and Dolph Ziggler with Seth Rollins. The Miz defeated Rey Mysterio in 11 minutes and 15 seconds. Hold on, let's get to these comments real quick. They'll lose the titles to the Colognes. Your comment turned them face. Texas Kid for Life's in here. What's up, man? Big Show has 24 career turns, he says.
Suppose it's not more.
Raw, probably just something stupid. Raw tags division is below average, but SmackDown tag division is on life support. Hey, I gotta agree with you on that one. That's a good one.
Hey, I mean, they are.
Man, completely
Maybe,
forgot about the U.S. title as well. Yes, we'll touch on the pre-show as well. I didn't
you know
see
what?
that. That's probably why I forgot about it.
With all those rumors going around about them possibly ending the brand split, I mean, it would make sense if they did it because the tag team division for both shows are so slim right now.
They both.
I mean, yeah, I mean they do. If they do in this kind of brand split, and the next year at this time we're just seeing one show for. But to me, it's going to water down SmackDown a lot too. But
Yeah, I
Hey,
just noticed Texas Kid. He hasn't been in the show in a while. That's why I didn't notice him in here. But thanks for joining us. It's not like Raw and
or
SmackDown Live are two different companies. They could easily grab a team from Raw. Yeah, but see, then um, you'll
yeah,
have us
because we're
asking why they did it and doing all this stuff, and they probably wouldn't.
well, yeah. Well, I agree with that too. It is kind of stupid for us to believe this is really some kind of rivalry. Like we got to gonna have to deal with the next few weeks. Well,
Right.
this is a big. We hate SmackDown versus Raw. I mean, really, it's the same. It's not no one
Well,
versus no one. It's
last
the same
year,
company.
didn't last year they kind of made it a little bit more interesting with the brands attacked each other? What's up, Bliss?
I mean, yeah, but then in the end, of course, who when SmackDown went to Raw and attacked them and jumped them and all that last year, what ended up happening? Raw ended up winning, and Raw ended up getting revenge and all of that. So yeah, in
So
the end, I
the
don't
Miz
know. It's
and Rey
just
Mysterio, they played up the rib injury quite a bit. What's up, Bliss? Thanks for joining, man. This match went a little bit over 11 minutes. The Miz goes on to the finals. What were your thoughts on this match, and what did you think of Rey Mysterio's performance in his two matches? I know the first
I,
one wasn't very long,
yeah.
but the second one at least.
I mean, this one was 10 minutes. I guess it was a little bit better, but to me, I kept being like, man, they really missed opportunities with these matches. You had a chance with these matches to give us matches we have never seen. You know, they had a chance to do that, and they chose not to go that route, or chances that a WE audience has never seen, and they chose to go the other route, to go the matches we've seen a million times route. I mean,
But
Rey Mysterio.
I
I mean,
guess
that's my.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I can understand your beef, but I think we found out why at with the results of this tournament.
Yeah, but
Uh,
I'm just saying, if they went with like a, if you're gonna do it like that, I mean, you could have easily gave us those other matches. You know, like you could have gave us Kurt Angle versus Seth Rollins, or Kurt Angle versus Bobby Lashley. You know, something like that. You know,
yeah,
or you
I
could
get
have.
it.
You could have went Jeff Hardy versus Rey. Was that yeah? Jeff Hardy and Rey Mysterio. I mean, that would have been a fun match, you know. But
The
no,
best
they
in the
went
USA tournament was a missed opportunity, no matter what. Yes, absolutely. So were you shocked the Miz won?
not really. I mean, see, I was torn by this because the way this thing was being built up, oh, all the faces. Because I originally said that I thought the Miz is going to win the tournament, and then I was like, everyone started saying, well, it seems like they're probably going to go the face route to have all that. And I was like, okay, they're probably going to make, and it ended up being two heels in the finals. Sorry, spoiler alert.
Oh well, it's on the screen as well, so everybody knows who made it. If you don't know by now, I
Yeah,
mean, you've been hiding under a rock. And props to you if you
yeah.
haven't any of these spoilers already.
But
So
I
the
was
next,
still disappointed in the length of time of these matches. Yeah, and I thought, to answer your question, I thought Ray did look really good out there. And then that move he did good, because I thought he actually hurt himself when he did that little splash onto the Miz. That was kind of cool. But I was thinking during this match, I'm like, man, can you imagine the star power Rey Mysterio would bring to a show like 205 Live?
oh, don't you can't. Okay, all right. You know
I'm just saying
you
he would.
cannot disrespect Rey Mysterio like that. I could say Finn Balor to 205 Live. That's perfectly fine. But when you mention
No,
Ray,
but
that's disrespectful, man. That's just
No, but
downright
a guy like Ray, because of who he is, he's known as basically one of the he is like one of the pioneers of the cruiserweights period in the world. And so you take a guy like him, say he looks at it like you said Finn Balor would, like, okay, I'm here to help these guys and get eyes to the show and get these guys over. I mean, I could just see them trying to put over Kalisto by putting him with Rey
Please
Mysterio.
do not do that. Do not listen to Dave, WWE.
I'm just
Next,
saying.
we had Dolph Ziggler take on Seth Rollins. This match went 13 minutes, the longest of the tournament matches. Your thoughts on the outcome where Dolph Ziggler defeats Seth Rollins? No Ambrose help, a little bit of a help from Drew McIntyre. But what did you think of the match?
I was watching it, I was like, oh boy, here we go. And then when Dolph hit him with that perfect super kick and
Oh,
Penn Rollins 1, 2, 3, I was like, I thought of Texas Kid for Life, and I was just like, I just started laughing. I was like, this is so guys, he can't say he's best in the world no more because
oh,
he
yeah.
lost the tournament. I mean, it was just funny to me, but it was a good match, I guess. But again, I was see what throughout this whole, even to this match right here, I was caught up in the time. I was like, we're hyped up for this freaking tournament for like the last 3 months. It seems like in this whole show, and this is what you give us. I mean, it's like seriously, these are the matches you give us, and this is how you reward us by watching us. Basically you give us what Rollins went what and throughout this whole tournament he goes what like 13 minutes. Oh, you said this match was 13 minutes. So what,
Right.
he maybe wrestled 20 minutes the whole night. I
Uh,
mean, close to it.
over 18 minutes the whole night. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and Miz wrestled what 15. I mean, to me, that was just a little disappointing because I was expecting some good out of these matches. At least I was expecting some good matches, and these weren't good matches in my opinion. Too short. Yes, the last two got a little bit longer, but I thought these matches could have went 10 or 15 minutes. But I get why, but still, I understand people wrestling so many times in one night. I get it, but really, I don't know. I was just disappointed in that part of it because I was really looking forward to this tournament to really kind of be the steal of the show. But that's what we got. But what was your
A
thoughts on this?
little bit disappointed in that we got Dolph Ziggler and Rollins again. I mean,
Yeah,
something that we've seen over and over and over and over and over again. I guess I get it. I, I mean, I can't really defend it. I enjoyed the match. I thought this was the best match on the show. I just, that just shows you that this show wasn't that great, and I was hoping, like you said, for a little bit more of surprise. I would have liked to see maybe Angle and Rollins. That would have been a nice little tandem, but maybe they didn't think Angle could go for very long. Seeing as his first match went just about 8 minutes, maybe they didn't think he could wrestle two matches at a high level. Of course, Dolph and Rollins can. They went and had an Iron Man match on Raw a couple of
I
months
mean,
ago. So we know these guys can bring it and have multiple matches. Maybe they didn't feel like Kurt Angle can do that at the moment. They didn't want to risk it.
then why put him in the tournament?
Yeah, I can understand that, but also, you put them in the tournament for the nostalgia, of course, Dave. That's what this show was all about, was nostalgia, and it kind of brings a little bit
Well,
more
I
hype
don't.
to the show. And to be fair, a lot of us, including me, thought Kurt Angle was going to win.
Yeah, and to me, if you really want to go nostalgia in this tournament, the main event for your finals should have been Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle. That would have been nostalgia right there.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you on that. So next we had the SmackDown Live World Title match. This was, you guys kind of knew the outcome of this match before it even started.
In
AJ
10
Styles,
minutes.
yeah, well, actually 11 minutes. AJ
Oh, my
Styles,
bad.
Samoa Joe. AJ Styles champ. If he's still the champ by Royal Rumble, he will pass CM Punk at 434 days. So you're gonna have to realize. I'm sorry, realize. You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to kind of think that he's gonna hold this title to Royal Rumble. That he's gonna pass CM Punk. He's already in the top 10 list of the
Yeah.
longest reigning champion of all time. Question for
Yeah,
you, Dave, before we get to
uh,
Samoa Joe, because that's the real question of the night. What is your thoughts? Do you think, excuse me, AJ Styles is your champ come Royal Rumble?
yeah, because what's the point of making him lose it? He's not going to lose it at Survivor Series. I mean, obviously. And what's the point of making him lose it at TLC when you just have one more month to go to the Royal Rumble? I mean, so I mean, yeah, it makes sense. And what, next Wednesday he'll be a year that he's been champion. So, and that, I guess they're going to call it a year. I guess probably because you're going to be in England or the UK next week. So that's where he won it, in the UK last year. So I mean, yeah. So I could definitely see it because there's no point of having him lose it at TLC, and you go to the Rumble and he could lose it then, like he did last time he lost it. I think to John Cena at the Rumble.
Yeah, it's going to. I did send them an invite. I sent them an invite. Who would you want to see AJ drop the title to? Is
I don't know if I want to see who's there that they could really go with though. Seriously, I mean, it's like he's beaten at Orton. Maybe I mean, if he's still, I guess he would still be there because no one got fired. So, I mean, so yeah, you can go have Orton win the title and have him run as champion as the heel Orton that he is. I mean, sure, there's other guys they could go with, but other than Orton, does anyone else really? Would anyone else really have that same, top level guy right now? Because SmackDown doesn't really seem like they're really swimming in sharks on SmackDown for AJ to face. I mean, you have Daniel Bryan, but I don't think he's going to be champion.
I sent Alex an invite. He's coming on.
Oh,
Oh my god. We just played this song. Is he replaying the damn Periscope?
It's me.
Did you rush home to talk to us?
I came to shit on this. Let's do it.
Well, we've already talked about 85% of the show already, but we could continue on with AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. I was about to just ask Dave, what is next for Samoa Joe? They have actually doesn't seem to have a real plan for him right at the moment, and it seems like he just continues to lose to AJ Styles every month on the review. So I guess we'll go with you first, Alex, since you are welcoming us with your presence. What's next for Samoa Joe?
Bottom of the line. I mean, it was clear that he was a last minute choice with Daniel Bryan, copping out. Like we've seen pictures of him like sporting a cast. So, but even so, like you have to imagine this is Joe's like what fourth time losing to AJ, like losing in the big title match. I think this was just a one off, and I think AJ moves on. I don't know who they really have left on SmackDown, but I don't really see much for Joe.
yeah. I mean, let me ask you this. I was just complaining to Tony about how much the timing of some time of the matches got in the tournament they did. And that was just really, that kind of took me out of a lot of it. I was like, this is all the time they're giving them.
I mean,
did that bother you at all?
Well, my thing is that like I think a lot of people went in. I don't know. I guess I know like we all get excited, but I guess people were expecting like the World Cup tournament was going to be like a G1 tournament style match. No, it's just
yeah.
It's like a quick like pop. Like it's for the crowd. Like you got what you want out of the show. Like the reality is like it really means nothing except Brock Lesnar's Universal Champion, as I called it. So yeah.
Yeah, but don't you think they could have done more than 5 minutes on some of these matches? It's like 5 minutes on it.
You know what my problem is though? With Roman out, like Raw is really lacking in top talent. Like Seth Rollins should be pushed. Like these guys like should be pushed, but like they're relegated in this. Like you could have used that to actually put someone over, but instead you got Shane. You might as well had Vince enter the tournament and win it.
Oh, this is what it was. We're about to. I guess we can get on to that now. Like the main. Okay, go ahead, Tony. You're on the show. My bad.
Let's continue. We're going to get to that because that's actually the next match, which is Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman taking on Braun Strowman. This match with a whopping 3 minutes and 15 seconds. And basically the match was Brock Lesnar shitting on Braun Strowman. Not the match I was expecting, of course. I thought this would be at least a competitive match. I can't remember if I even predicted the match on when we did the prediction show, but I kind of figured Brock was going to win because there's no really guy that they've built up to be that champion. I think Braun Strowman's time was last year to be the champ, and his time is gone, and he's definitely not the same monster among men that he used to be. To me, he's just another Big Show now. But yeah, Brock Lesnar F5 Braun Strowman, I think 6 times. The most surprising move was when he tossed Braun over the ropes like a fucking bag of potatoes. But yeah, Brock's your champ. The big news coming out of that was they announced it'll be AJ Styles taking on Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series.
Part 2.
I think we can all remember their match last year was really good. And this could be another one that could be a really good match as well. We'll go with you first, Dave. What'd you think of the match and your thoughts on winning the title?
I mean, also Corbin did hit Braun with the title too, so that kind of helped. But yeah, I mean,
and I kind of, and I'm gonna say this right now. I tweeted about it on tweet. I said I bet Baron Corbin was gonna cost Braun Strowman the match, and what happened? I didn't mention it. That Baron Corbin was at ringside, and right after the bell rang, what happened? He clocked Braun Strowman with the belt.
Corbin was smiling like the whole segment. I was like, all right, just hit him already.
Right.
yeah, I mean, it was pretty bad. But the most shocking thing for me on this was the placement. I thought this was going to be the main event. I kept asking, "Oh, is DX and the Brothers of Destruction going to main event?" Oh no, it will be the Universal title.
Hell yeah, that's not a good main event. That's all they have.
If I'm not, this isn't a knock on Roman, but I'm just saying if Roman would be there in this match would have been the main event.
I don't think it would have been. I don't think it would.
I really do think Shawn.
I think that was
okay.
I think that was a clear cut main event.
Yeah, but watching this, I don't think any of us saw this kind of thing coming. I mean, it was just like the back-to-back things that happened right here. It was just like, okay, you think I'm paying Brock $5 million to come here just to lose? No, thank you. I mean,
what did you think?
No way.
The way the match was, though. Did you think that was going to be the match that we saw?
No, I didn't. I thought we were going to get like another big brawl between Braun and Brock. That's what I was expecting, and we got that. And I was like, okay, I get it because they really don't have no answers on. Like I said, I think on the prediction show we did that I thought Brock was winning because you don't need him. I mean, you don't need Brock the title on TV every week. It didn't do no difference when Roman was champion on Raw each week because it didn't matter because it was the same matches we were getting. So why does the title matter? And now you can have Strowman and McIntyre if you want feuding on TV, and there's your feud to face Brock if you want.
No, okay, all right, fair enough.
Alex?
Yeah, Alex, go ahead. I know you have some interesting comments to say.
I mean, what do you guys expect? Like, here's the truth. Like, this is what if there's a takeaway from Crown Jewel, it really showed WWE's flaws with booking talent. You know, I'll get into a bigger event for the fucking main event. Holy shit, that's happening. But no, for this, like, yeah, it wasn't how I expected it to happen. But the truth is, on the outside of Rousey, who's their top draw if Roman's gone? You know, like, you have this UFC like crossover Brock Lesnar. He's about to go into a fight and have the Universal title. Like, that's their best thing. They have nothing else. They have not built anyone else to say, hey, I'm going to put you there to carry this. You know.
And not to interrupt you, the one thing that really caught my ear was Strowman was the heel in that match. Not technically, but the fans were booing him. They were cheering Brock Lesnar.
They kept saying one more. I think I heard them say one more time, but I could have been wrong. But yeah, I mean, like we all said, all of us can agree on this. When he dropped Strowman on the outside, I mean, I was like, holy shit. I mean, I did not expect that.
The biggest thing you can't take away from Lesnar, as much as everyone hates him holding the title, is believability. Like, when Brock's going to fuck someone up, like, you're just like, oh, God, how's this one going to die?
Yeah, you know, when he took the gloves off, I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna Orton him. I was like, oh boy, that's what I was first thing popped in my head.
Chica makes a good point in the chat. She said, I think things got screwed up because of Cena and the various wrestlers who did.
Oh yeah, there was definitely a lot of. I mean, Shane McMahon won.
Yeah, we'll touch on that. So Brock Lesnar wins. It definitely shows you that WWE doesn't have any other confidence in any other wrestler at the moment, which is a damn fucking shame. Thank you, Johnny, for the super hearts. Appreciate that, man. Really, thank you.
Can I just make a general comment on Crown Jewel?
Go ahead.
You notice who got the biggest pop all night? The nostalgia acts. And hey, that's fine. Yep. Nostalgia pop. But what does that tell you about your current full-time stars? Notice all the dead moments was your main.
Well, here's my question to you, though. If that was a match, if this show happened in New York or Chicago or LA, just name a city in America, do you think that we would have gotten the same reactions we got last night? I don't think we would have. I think the bigger pops would have probably went to Styles and Joe and guys like that. And I don't think we would have gotten maybe HBK because it's his first match back, but I don't think we would have gotten the same reactions we've gotten if it wasn't in front of a Saudi crowd, because a lot of those kids are people that haven't never seen.
Yeah, and that's the point.
But here's my point. Like when you tell me that a wrestler is a main draw, you can put him anywhere in the world, and that the people will react. Like not just like the hardcore fans who like support the wrestlers and everything. Like I'm talking like chanting "This is awesome" throughout the whole main event, even though it was a shit show. Like, but just the feel of having these four larger than life characters, that's a problem. Like they don't build their main full talent to actually give that larger than life feel. That's why they bring Hogan to be an American and host Saudi Arabia, and then you have the main event. That's my takeaway from the show.
Yeah, I noticed the song they chose for Hogan too.
Was that Juanito? Thank you, Juanito. I appreciate it.
That was funny. It wasn't. Yeah, it was funny, but yeah.
Right, so
yeah, I guess that's it on that.
What about Brock and Styles? You looking forward to that match, Dave?
Yeah, because look how good their last one was. I mean, it was Brock's best match of the whole year last year. I mean, it really was. And so, you know what? Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If they really go in the route of having AJ keep the title and break Punk's record, why not let AJ? I'm not sure Brock. I don't know how that would work out, but I said, hey, why not let AJ get a win over Brock? I mean, why not? If it happens, cool. I mean, that'd be interesting. The only guy to beat Brock was on SmackDown, so it's like, and Roman has to take care of his personal life. So, I mean, yeah.
What about you, Alex?
I agree with Dave. I mean, I think that was my favorite Brock Lesnar match since, I guess, Brock and Punk, honestly. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I would love to see AJ get the win. Like he even foreshadowed like in the last match. He's like, Rocky won in the second fight. Like, so that'd be a fun story. But Brock's not coming back just to fucking lose to AJ Styles. I'm sorry, I love AJ, but Brock's like no.
The real question is, does Brock show up tonight at UFC?
Oh, is there a UFC event tonight?
Yeah, Daniel Cormier is fighting tonight. And you know what happened last time he had a fight? Brock was there. He shoved him. And then, of course, Cormier says if Brock ever shows up again, he's going to slap him.
You mean when UFC cut a WWE promo?
Right, yeah. So does he show up tonight? That's the question. Does he show up after that fight, and do they officially announce it? That's what I'm wondering.
I don't know about tonight, but I could definitely see. I think the possibility is more likely that Brock will walk into UFC with that WWE title.
Jeffrey Cross in the chat room says yes. He's heard he's there. So there you go. Oh my God!
I'm sure we'll hear about it online. It's going to blow up on Twitter if they get into it. Or something.
Man, it's going to be interesting.
Okay. If they go at it a little bit and start fighting, it's like, okay, is this UFC or WWE?
Well, Brock Lesnar, F5, Daniel Cormier, Dave.
Probably. I mean, this is stupid. If they get into like a physical altercation and they're pulling them apart, I mean, seriously,
fight them over the cage into the crowd.
You know what's going to happen, right? Their fight, DC versus Brock Lesnar, is going to be at UFC, whatever 200 and whatever it is. It's going to be inside Hell in the Cell.
There you go. What about you, Alex? Will Brock show up tonight, do you think?
Yeah. And Dave, I think they would be in a Kennel from Hell match. Let's be honest.
Oh, that would be good.
All right.
What about? Okay, I'll stop.
What the fuck moment?
You mean the match of the night?
Which was The Miz taking on Dolph Ziggler originally in the finals. I didn't see when The Miz hurt his ankle.
He like came outside the ring and then he did like the thing where he like blew up his knee or something. But yeah,
and it looked legit. I know obviously it was storyline, but he played it up pretty damn well. So here's what the fuck happened. Well, the ref obviously said, gosh, The Miz could not compete, so he was going to announce the winner to be Dolph Ziggler. Well, Mr. Shane McMahon thought that was a little bit unfair. And he said, well, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to put myself in this goddamn match. So he puts himself in this match. He kicks out of it. He kicks out of a zigzag.
Because Shane McMahon.
He does his usual. What's it called?
The coast to coast.
Coast to coast.
It was good.
And in 2 minutes and 30 seconds, he defeats Dolph Ziggler and becomes the best in the world. Everybody.
What was the Vince laugh at? You know that's what Vince was doing in the back. Just shitting on every.
I want Shane to win this son of a bitch. I don't know.
Starty.
Oh my god.
Suck it, Phil Brooks.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that picture floating around on Twitter where Shane's face on CM Punk's face body?
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
And it has like the shirt "Best in the World." Well, yeah, I mean this was great. I'm sorry, everyone hated it. Everyone.
McMahon family says Adam Bomb.
It was just funny. I'm sorry. I know every CM Punk fan and probably wrestling fans kind of hated it too, but I thought it was hilarious because it was like, and then Cole kept trying to like bury it on the commentary, like, "Oh, this is terrible. What are they doing? SmackDown referees in there and all that stuff." And it's like, oh, are we gonna? This is gonna lead to like what, a heel Shane on SmackDown now, which is kind of interesting. I think I don't mind it. I don't care that he has the trophy. I was like, you know what I thought?
More to Raw versus SmackDown.
Yeah, I think it is too. But you know what I first thought was going to happen with this? Is Shane going to lose and then have to basically fire himself? That's where I thought they might go, you know?
Yeah. That would have been an interesting plot, but nope. WWE, Shawn Michaels, excuse me, who should have won that, actually. Shane McMahon.
Oh, please.
Shane McMahon.
All in the world.
Win. What did you think about that, Alex?
I just laughed. I mean, like I said, like I tweeted about it after just watching the highlights. I'm like, this is a glorified house show. Take what you want. There's no, it really, except from the Universal title, it meant nothing. So hey, Shane won, but I'm more excited for Survivor Series mainly because I want SmackDown and Raw to just end with McIntyre reigning all over everyone.
Yeah, this was hilarious, but not. I didn't. I mean, I couldn't take this tournament serious. Now
it was not meant to be serious. It's just
What's up, Sock Monkey Mike? Appreciate you dropping.
Obviously, after what they gave you with that whole thing, with like Shane walking out, this was if Vince would have been.
That's it.
You know what? If Vince would have been like eligible to be a younger age, and this is happening right now, this would have been Vince McMahon doing this.
Vince would try to do it now if you let him.
I know, but I'm saying at 70-something or 80, however old he is, I mean, no, but if he was Shane's age and this is happening now, Vince would totally be the best in the world.
All right, so let's get to the main event, the nostalgia match, everybody. DX taking on the Brothers of Destruction. The return match of Shawn Michaels. This match went 27 minutes and 45 seconds.
Longest match of the night.
You can obviously tell that some of these guys were gassed at the end of the night where they couldn't even catch Shawn Michaels on a simple moonsault to the outside of the ring. I think this picture of Triple H's face describes this match perfectly. Not only did that happen, Triple H got hurt. He tore his. What did he actually tore, Alex?
He has a torn pec.
He has a torn pec over that toss over the ring, over the ropes when Shawn Michaels was up against the turnbuckle.
How did he not get hurt getting chokeslammed at all the freaking monitors? I mean, geez, they didn't clear that off at all.
So, yeah, this was. It's pretty sad when a guy who's been not wrestling for 8 years comes in and outperforms the three men in the ring. I'm going to give Triple H a little bit of a pass because he got hurt in the middle of the match. But Kane looked like shit. His mask fell off in the middle of the fucking match.
Oh my!
Twice.
The Undertaker looked like garbage as well.
I don't know about that, but yeah. You know what's really sad? Triple H was the only one in this match under 50.
there's a combined age of 200 years. Just comprehend that.
Oh, but I thought Shawn Michaels, and this is, I know you're going to say this is a bad biased opinion. I thought Shawn Michaels looked really good. I do think he's going to have another match, but let me see. He did comment. He did comment on this. Let's pull it up. See what you guys think. This is what Shawn Michaels had to say. All right.
And I quote,
All right, so basically said that he doesn't see himself wrestling if he doesn't have to. I thought it was pretty cool that he had the NXT patches on his pants.
I didn't notice.
But what did you think of the whole match, Dave? And then we'll get to Alex.
Man, this match was a long match, and it was like, geez. And they're coming down, and it's like, okay, they're taking forever to get Undertaker, especially taking like 2 hours to get down there. So no wonder they had 27 minutes because it took them all forever to get down there. But I mean, this match. I mean, look. Okay, I hope everyone's sitting down. Okay, for being what Shawn Michaels was, to come out there and do what he did, yes, it was impressive after not having a match for 8 years. Of course, I mean, it was good. Yes, he looked good out there for what he did. I'm sure they're gonna talk him into another match. I'm sure they will. Probably Undertaker and Shawn Michaels again. So I mean, but this match overall was like a clusterfuck of watching. I mean, Triple H got hurt, yes, but Undertaker and Triple H both did some stupid spot, like that stupid spot on the outside, where it's like, over here, let's go over here, and then they didn't know what the hell. They both went into the barricade wall with no one throwing them. It was like, what's going on here? I mean, yeah, and you know what? Credit to Shawn Michaels for doing a moonsault when he hasn't done one in who knows how long, but I'm sure they rehearsed this match. You know, I'm not sure they rehearsed this match. I'm sure Shawn's been taking bumps at NXT and all that. I get that. But still out there in front of a live crowd doing that. And it was kind of cool when he said, you know what, basically saying fuck it and just do the moonsault. But, and then he freaking missed everybody. I don't think that's their fault. I think that's more Shawn missed timing. But yeah.
Boy, don't you dare. Don't you?
I mean, come on. Credit to Triple.
We got to have to sit there and wait for them to catch him. You know, goddamn, Undertaker, wake up, motherfucker. This guy saved your life when you dove out the ring and totally mistimed it and almost killed yourself. You remember that guy?
You know what? Out of all the last matches that Undertaker has had, this is probably one of his more better ones.
What?
Yeah. In the past couple of years that he's been putting on these really awful matches, I think this is one of Undertaker's better matches in the last few years. Not overall, like in his decade of, or 2 decades or whatever it is, but I'm just saying. I think
that showed Undertaker needs to fucking hang it up, man. Same with Kane. Like, Kane shouldn't even be fucking wrestling ever again. Ever.
Yeah, I mean, this match did not need to be the main event. And it was just, to me, the match overall was bad. But I mean, was there some highlights? Sure, there was some interesting stuff. But when I was into the match, I guess that's the nostalgia, because that's all of us are fans of these guys growing up. So yeah, I was into the match. And I was interested in it just to see what happens and see how I think that's what a lot of people's interest was, is how is Shawn Michaels going to look? You know, I mean, he performed okay, but it was also, he wasn't in the match a lot. I mean, he was, I guess, a good percentage of the time because Triple H tore his pec. So, I mean, I really think all of us got to give credit to Triple H. I mean, or should we do? No, we don't. Don't give no credit to Triple H at all. You know why? Because this is what he fucking does. He tears both his quads, and he still finishes both matches. I mean, come on. Why should we be surprised? Anyone else would have probably stopped and had to go to the back, but nope, not Triple H.
Nah, Triple H.
He'll go out there. I mean, he don't care. He'll go out there injured. I mean, that's what Triple H does right there. So, props to him for that too, though. So yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm glad the match is over. I'm sure we'll see it again. And it was a clusterfuck to watch, but I was into it. I was into the match just because of the 4 guys who were in it. Oh, 3 guys.
Chris Mack in the chat says, now that they brought Taker back into the spotlight, how the hell are they going to officially script his last match? What are your thoughts on that?
Mine? I guess. I don't know. I mean, does he have to die in the ring like the Ram? I mean, it's Ricky Ram. I think it was his name, but yeah, Mickey Rourke. Does he have to die in the ring before they let him do anything? I thought that's what Ric Flair was going to do, just die wrestling. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, how do you do this? And now that Shawn Michaels put on a halfway decent tag match, and part of the tag match, I mean, Vince is going to be like, "You got another run in you, kid."
All right, what about you, Alex? Your thoughts on this match, and then we'll get to the ratings, and then a quick little video clip of someone talking about Crown Jewel. I wanted you guys to hear.
Probably not gonna be able to hear it.
Holy shit, this sucked.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It fucking sucked, dude. What a waste of a Friday night. Like, yeah. There's a combined age of 200 years. I agree with Sean. He looked good. I mean, it still is getting hard to see bald Sean. I guess to give him good aerodynamics with less hair, but, you know, like, he looked good, but it was just such a sloppy clusterfuck. And just, what makes me more frustrated is that this just shows again WWE fails to build their current times, and they have to rely on these guys. Irregardless of how shitty the match is, you heard that crowd, the nostalgia. Like, it's a draw that's like outside of the U.S. Like it's just a worldwide draw. So it's over. I could see Sean doing another match. Why not? I would like to see it against someone else. I mean, fuck it. If Sean's wrestling again, just give me AJ versus Sean.
I don't think that'll ever happen.
206 says Legends.
I mean, I don't think that match would ever happen. But one part of the match, I was thinking, like, when Sean went to tag Triple H, I thought for a minute Triple H is going to pull his hand away. That's what I thought.
Oh, yeah.
And I could see that being another match. They're going to rehash Triple H and Sean all over again.
It was me, Sean.
Yep, that was one of the greatest things ever. But that was awesome.
NXT.
Yeah. But one thing I will agree with Alex.
We couldn't watch Power Struggle. What a wrestling fan. How many times do I have to fucking talk about New Japan and all that shit? Red Sox fan. God damn. The Red Sox win the title and he thinks he can just come and run the joint.
But I agree with Alex. This show was really sucky and shitty.
So I put a poll on the Twitter account. Got over 200 votes. So let me find it if I can find it. I asked Brock. Oh, that was Brock Lesnar. When's the Universal Championship? I put your thoughts. Love it, like it, hate it. Fuck you, Vince. What do you think won?
Well, I voted in it too.
Hate it.
I said fuck you, Vince.
Architect put, what did you say? As if Alex had anything better to do on a Friday night, says the architect. Oh, God. Y'all are funny.
Did anyone enjoy this show? I mean, seriously, this show was so bad. The tournament. Go ahead.
Oh, what about you, Alex? What was yours? Love it, like it, hate it, fuck you, Vince on Brock winning the title.
Love it. What's the second one?
Like it, hate it, or fuck you, Vince.
Like it because, honestly, I'm not mad. Like Dave said, the Universal title wasn't even a focal point with Roman because it was just Shield versus Braun and Friends. Shield versus Braun and Friends. So,
yep, pretty much. I mean, I said fuck you, Vince, just because of the whole show. But I don't mind Brock. I figured Brock was going to win the title. I mean, I don't love it, like it, or hate it.
I made my peace.
So it's like
I made my peace for the minute it was a singles match. I was like, yeah.
It doesn't matter. But the show overall, Tony, what do you think? Me and Alex both think it sucked royally. So what do you think?
The show was not worth watching 4 hours of. Yeah, it was not good.
If I just Wikipedia the results and watched a YouTube clip, I probably would have gotten what I wanted out of the show. But you know what? Yeah. It's a qualified house show, so you take what you could get from it.
Yeah, but man, I was like sitting there, like I was watching. I stayed off of everything, and I was like, man, I wish I would have been spoiled because I wish I would have not watched
People
this
in
shit.
Saudi Arabia enjoyed it. I heard Vince Russo booked this event. It was better than Evolution. Yeah, right.
No,
Babaruski,
I think No, it wasn't. I
Babaruski.
prefer Evolution
I'm
over
gonna
this
credit
shit.
you, Babaruski, real quick because we're gonna show a video that you tagged me in, or not show it, but play it. This was a lady's reaction to it of Crown Jewel, but I put a
Which match?
poll out. I'll pull out no for Crown Jewel in general. I put a poll
Oh,
out for the what did everybody think of the show. 10% loved it, 8% liked it, 14% hated it, and 68% said "fuck you, Vince." So that just shows you mostly people hated it. So, but let's just get this certain. Her name is still Blondie on Twitter. So if you want to follow her, you're more than welcome to. But this is what her thoughts were of Crown Jewel. Are you guys ready? I know you won't be able to hear it, Dave, but I'm gonna play it real quick. Hear her thoughts on Crown Jewel.
Fuck you, WWE. Barry Braun Strowman or Brock fucking Lesnar to win the goddamn Universal Championship again, and after Survivor Series, I'm sure we won't see him for another 6 fucking months. Great fucking job.
I heard it.
Hilarious.
So
Play it again. Play it again.
Yeah,
all right, one more time, just in case you didn't hear it.
I want to hear it every night.
Barry Braun Strowman or Brock Lesnar to win the goddamn Universal Championship again, and after Survivor Series, I'm sure we won't see him for another 6 fucking months. Great fucking job.
And while she's saying that, she's flicking the camera off. So that just shows you how upset this woman was.
Tony, I got a request. Can we play this every night?
Every night, as long as Brock is champ, we have to.
Yes, I'm gonna. And
that's still WrestleMania.
That should be our intro every night.
Guys,
forget the music.
You know,
Adam Baum asked one more time. So one more time, everybody. Her name is still Blondie on Twitter. If you want to go and tweet at her, feel free to follow her if you agree with her. But this is one more time. This is what her thoughts.
Fuck you, WWE. Barry Braun Strowman for Brock fucking Lesnar to win the goddamn Universal Championship again, and after Survivor Series, I'm sure we won't see him for another 6 fucking months. Great fucking job.
She is pissed, man. She is upset. That is an upset woman right there.
Joking aside, do you guys see Brock Lesnar holding the title till WrestleMania?
Oh my god!
I do.
Yeah, of course.
They have guys. Think about think about it. The Super shows make every Survivor Series is next, then TLC, and before you know it, Royal Rumble, and then we're in WrestleMania season again. It's not that far away.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the rumor is going around that Brock has agreed to do 2 more shows, Survivor Series, and there's one more. So either it's going to be the Rumble or it's going to be WrestleMania.
They really could have Brock hold it. Nobody said. A lot of people thought Brock was going to win it again last night, and well, shit.
Wow, that is that is something else. We'll play it one more time when we head out for tonight, just so y'all can have a quick little chuckle. But Babaruski tagged me in that, and I was like, I have to play this on the show because it's perfect, and I'm glad you guys got a kick out of it. All right, so let's get our rating fingers ready, and then we'll run through some of the rumors and 205 Live and NXT and Impact Wrestling a little bit. Even though I haven't watched it yet, I plan on watching it tomorrow before next week's show. Dave, your rating for a Crown Jewel.
What was that girl's name? Forever Blondie or whatever?
Still Blondie.
Oh, still Blondie. Well, you said she was slipping off the camera, so I'll give it a 1 too.
Okay, fair. Alex?
Nothing.
Yeah, this show is bad.
That's fair. I would give it a because Shawn Michaels.
This show sucks.
If you're still writing in your notebook, just put just a slash across. Just that's all.
Shawn
just
Michaels.
Cancel. No,
I'd just rate his
just
performance.
Erase it.
I would give it a 2.
Yeah, you can have your nostalgic moment.
Yeah, that was
just erase it. take the page, Tony. Take the page of Crown Jewel and just rip it up and throw it in the trash. Actually, erase the Periscope video of everything. Erase everything to do with Crown Jewel. We can pull a WE like they did with Chris Benoit. Just erase them from the record book.
Crown Jewel just never happened, right? That just never happened.
Yeah, that never happened.
But yeah, what a show we got Friday afternoon. Thank God there's no more specials anytime soon. So finally, well, Survivor
the greatest
Series,
Royal Rumble.
We're not going to get any feuds yet, but definitely, hopefully, we'll get something going after Survivor Series.
Hey, you know what I'll say about that? One match I'm really looking forward to at Survivor Series, even though maybe I shouldn't because he's been booked like shit, but I'm really looking forward to Rollins versus Nakamura. I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely. We didn't even touch on that match, and I don't even really care about it. On Nakamura won. So let's get to some of these rumors before we touch on some of these shows. Shane McMahon. Reason Shane McMahon won the WWE World Cup at Crown Jewel. Shane McMahon surprise World Cup win at Crown Jewel definitely left some wondering the thinking behind the decision and had nothing to do with The Miz being injured because he isn't. Everybody's favorite and Dave's favorite, Dave Meltzer, has
the gospel
that the idea is Shane will now be a heel going forward, and it's always booked this way. Meltzer also speculated that having Shane as a heel is a way to boost SmackDown ratings. So the idea is that Shane is going heel, and this was Miz wasn't hurt. This was all booked to be what it is, the beginning of a Shane McMahon heel turn. You know, as far as why you want another heel McMahon authority figure on a show, I guess it's a response to declining ratings on SmackDown.
Tony, you know what this tells me, though? And this will make me answer your question now. What? I know none of us want this. We said, who's going to be AJ Styles? What if it's Shane McMahon?
Oh,
I mean, Vince has been WWE champion. Why not his son?
Wouldn't be. Oh my God.
Because the boss is going to screw you over. They're going to do something. That's what they're going to do. He's going to screw him out of the title. And what if he's the one who wins the title? And yeah,
that's
and
not do some rating. Says Adam Bomb.
I'm just saying the screw job.
How is he going to go heel with Survivor Series coming up? So Corbin will be a face. I don't know. Maybe they're not going to do the SmackDown.
No. That wouldn't matter though. Vince did Raw vs. SmackDown as a heel or back with the Alliance days. Vince was still a heel, but he still wanted to beat the Alliance. So Vince didn't change character just because it's his show. It's the same thing.
They treat the brands like it's like their nation, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like that, those holidays, like 4th of July, everyone suddenly becomes patriotic, super patriotic. So,
or at WWE Evolution, everyone's a face at the end. I mean,
now that you mentioned WWE Evolution, the Mae Young Classic, and I think Alex kind of touched on this maybe a week or two ago, that the original plans for the Mae Young Classic was put together. Was supposed to be Tegan Knox defeating Toni Storm in the finals, but was changed when Knox blew out her knee in her match against Rhea Ripley. So your thoughts on this, Dave? Would you have been okay with Tegan Knox winning the Mae Young Classic?
Probably not, because I don't really know much about her. So, I mean, if the original plan was to have Shirai lose to Toni Storm, I mean, in the pre or semifinals. So I mean, maybe that's why everything was changed around. Maybe that's why we didn't get Miko versus Shirai, because they changed everything. But I mean, I wouldn't have. To me, this match we got though was more star power than that would have been.
Bliss Side puts in the chat, I'm gonna need a Shane O'Mac best in the world merch.
Yeah, we need that definitely.
What about you, Alex? Your thoughts on that? I know you mentioned it, I think, a week or two ago, but would you have been okay with Tegan Knox winning it?
Well, I mean, it's kind of at the expense of her injuring her knee for the second time. You know, it's like putting her on the shelf, so it kind of sucks in that aspect, right? Like, even if she was planned, like, it didn't happen because she blew out her knee. But obviously, like, I'm a huge fan of Toni Storm as well as Io Shirai, so I love the match we got. So yeah, I mean, what's happened.
But would it have been the same to you, Alex, if it would have been Tegan Knox versus Toni Storm and not Shirai?
Oh, of course not. I'm not agreeing with that, but I'm just saying, like I said, it's like kind of sucks. It was at the expense of her, like.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm just saying overall, it just doesn't bring the same, to me, star power that those two brought to it.
Honestly, yeah. So, well, we got a great thing, and Tony's story.
Yeah.
I think
And then we have looks like a up and coming feud whenever Knox is healthy with Rhea Ripley. So that's going to be very good as well.
Away from honestly Mae Young though is Rhea Ripley's going to be the next top heel of NXT.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, she's definitely
Becky
all over.
Like damn.
Yeah, that's been great. I'm sorry. Speaking of Evolution, according to PW Insider, the event felt different because the usual stage lighting and set pieces that WWE used all for the events was required in North Carolina for Raw and SmackDown. And given the fact that Evolution event was added late, there was no logistical way for them to plan how to get what they required from North Carolina to New York. In addition, an NXT production crew were in charge, and WWE producer and director Kevin Dunn was also reportedly not backstage and had no involvement in the direction of the show. Vince McMahon was still reportedly calling the shots in the gorilla position with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. So who is the real problem with the WWE? Is it Kevin Dunn or is it Vince McMahon? We'll go with you, Alex.
Well, you guys know Kevin Dunn's problem with Becky Lynch in the past, right?
Yes, her accent, correct?
Yeah, those are the big rumors, you know. So, and I told you guys last weekend, I thought that it had a takeover vibe to it, like the opening with the performance, everything, like the lighting, how they dim out the crowd, you know. So it definitely like felt like takeover for there. I read the report and it said that like Vince literally walked into the building at the very last minute to show you how much he gave a shit about this show.
Right. Bliss,
yeah, I mean, this
Evolution was so good. Yeah.
No Meltzer rated Becky and Charlotte.
4.5 stars.
All right, that's your guess.
Highest motherfucker, man.
That is the highest star he's ever gave a WWE show. The match.
It's 4 3/4.
You couldn't give it fucking 5 stars, dude. Like, what the fuck?
4 3/4 is like, was there just like a little twitch in your ear that said
I didn't like what Becky Lynch was wearing, so I'm gonna give her and Charlotte a 4. And God damn, Dave.
Like people gave they gave Gargano and Ciampa a 5-star. Like, you're not telling me that story between Becky and Charlotte wasn't just so damn good? You were so invested.
Ugh,
yeah, but I don't mean that. I mean just like main roster. I don't think Dave Meltzer ever gives them anything over 1 star.
No, he gave Taker Shawn 4 3/4 because what the fuck does that mean? And then he gave AJ and Cena like 4 3. Like, it's like, why?
Because I do like New Japan, but it seems like Dave Meltzer has a hard on for New Japan.
He has been more like excited for Takeover, though. I'll give him that.
As fans are aware, WWE officials have been building up Roman Reigns to be the new face of WWE for several years now.
What?
Although
I hadn't noticed.
Although they still have part-time superstars such as Brock Lesnar, The Undertaker, Triple H, and John Cena as special attractions, Reigns was considered to be the full-time superstar on the roster. In the wake of Roman's leukemia diagnosis, WWE is currently left without a top superstar to be the face of the company, along the lines of Hulk Hogan, Steve Austin, and John Cena. According to sports journalist Brad Shepard, a source within WWE has informed him that WWE officials currently view Raw Women's Champion Rowdy Ronda Rousey as being the biggest draw out of all of the full-time superstars on the roster at the moment. Alex, your thoughts?
I mean, when you think of crossover and mainstream appeal, are they wrong? Who's bigger than who gets as much mainstream attention as Rousey? Man,
in that perspective, no, they're not.
Yeah. And that's what they mean by draw. Like they need like a face to put on something. You know, you need that. I think all of us would love to see them build a Drew, build a Seth, hell, build Dean, like build all these guys that are busting. Hell, give Balor a chance now at this point. Like, just build people. But as of right now, yeah, I agree. full-time wise, Rousey is their top mainstream draw on Raw.
Dave?
I mean, you could say for Raw. I mean, because of the reality show, but yeah, Ronda will get you on any. She'll get you on anything. She'll get you on Fox Sports. She'll get you on ESPN. She'll get you on those local morning shows. I mean, Ronda Rousey is the top. Go ahead.
And sorry, I was just gonna add. Just imagine when WWE actually like goes on Fox. Rousey on Fox, like that's gonna be big.
Oh yeah, you know she's gonna be a part of SmackDown. She's gonna be a part of SmackDown because, and if DC's there too, I mean,
they have big money plans for Rousey.
Oh yeah, I mean, they're gonna put all their stars on
if
Fox.
they gave Drew McIntyre a babyface push like he got in TNA.
He shouldn't be a babyface.
No,
keep him a badass. Just destroy everyone. That's the champion you want. Like, don't ruin it. You're building him fine.
Yeah, make McIntyre the heel. Keep him the heel he is. I mean, seriously, he's doing great.
Killing it.
Red Sox fan says, but New Japan has 3 full-time big draws, he says. Okay, fair enough. Ronda Rousey, speaking of her as well, tops the list on the Pro Wrestling Illustrated top.
No. You know what's even funnier? Number 7. Number 7 is hilarious.
I don't have let me get the list real quick.
I think I seen her tweet about it too. Carmella. I think she was 7 or at least in the top 10 or something like that.
Oh my god.
And she tweeted like laughing emojis out, and I think I could be wrong. I thought I seen it on the list, unless it was a Photoshop thing.
Gosh, I don't have it right here in front of me.
But if this list is for like,
okay, here we go. Top 10.
Okay.
Here we go. All right. So if I butcher any of these names, you more than let me know, Alex. We have number 1, Ronda Rousey. Number 2,
1,
Alexa Bliss.
Wow.
Number 3,
Poor man.
Charlotte Flair.
That's fine.
Number 4, Yoshirai.
Okay,
Number 5, Asuka. Number 6, Shayna Baszler. Number 7, Carmella. Number 8, Nia Jax.
Oh, fuck.
Number 9, is it Mayu Iwatani?
Mayu Iwatani, yeah.
And number 10, Kairi Sane.
So number 1 and number 2. Wow.
We're pissed on Twitter.
I mean, are these like who did this? The WE?
Pro Wrestling Illustrated. It's they always come up with the top 100 wrestlers.
Here's my question for you guys. When you're making a top 10 like from this, are you seeing like in terms of the impact they've had in the wrestling world or just pure in-match quality, personal?
Well, they're obviously not going by in-match quality.
Well, let's go with last year's. Let's show you last year's. Last year's they had,
I think,
Asuka was number 1.
Oh my god.
Charlotte Flair was number 2. Alexa Bliss was number 3. This shows you how far she's fallen. Sasha Banks was number 4. Same with Bayley. She was number 5. Io Shirai was number 6. Natalya was number 7. Sienna was number 8. Number 9 was Naomi. And number 10 was Kairi Sane.
Wow.
10.
Isn't Zayn number 10 on this list too?
10.
She was 10 on this one as well.
Oh, yikes. I mean, jeez, this list is terrible. I mean, they do not go by in-ring skill, obviously, because Alexa Bliss and Ronda is 1 and 2.
No rumors, just 3 guys marking the fuck out of that. What are you talking about? We're not. How are we marking out? We're
actually annoyed from the show.
Right, we're not understanding this top 10 list. Like, Ronda Rousey's wrestled only since WrestleMania. How the fuck can she be number 1? That's what I don't understand. That's crazy.
They had 5 matches, maybe not even 10 matches yet.
List at number 2. I mean, even I feel like that's an outrage. But yeah, we'll just move on from there.
What about Tessa Blanchard? How come she's not on this list?
That's true. That's very true. Tessa Blanchard should be in that top 10 list. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, Before we get into NXT, quick thoughts on 205 Live, Dave.
I thought it was good. Still don't understand why we had 2 No More Contenders matches, but whatever. Yeah, I still don't like they only give us 2 matches. And like the first match is 3 minutes, second match is like 20 seconds. And TJP stole another mask, so good for him. The mask collector. He stole Gran Metallic's mask, and the main event was good. I mean, I'm not really a big fan of Mustafa Ali because he needs to respect Tommy. But yeah, it was a good match. Of course, he won, so he's going to be going on to face Murphy. And next week, Murphy did an interview saying, we're in the UK next week, so I'm going to challenge one of the UK's top competitors." I'm like, holy shit, Pete Dunne and Murphy next week. That's going to be awesome. No, he's challenging Andrews. I'm like, what the fuck? Why not champion versus champion? What the hell? Andrews.
It was Pro Wrestling Illustrated, Bliss side, if you're talking about the top 10. Becky Lynch was like number 13. Blanchard is ranked 15th or 7th. That's absolutely absurd. Red Sox fan, we talked about Meltzer. If you don't see why people talk about Meltzer, then you're a Meltzer mark, honestly, because some of the things Meltzer says is he said that there's the women's wrestling in the U.S. is like U.S. soccer. He tried to compare it to U.S. soccer and European soccer. The difference between America's wrestling and the overseas wrestling. And I thought that was a fucking joke to think that WWE in general don't have great wrestlers in their organization.
Well, they're not used like they're great, though. They're not.
Of course, they're not probably used to their potential. But to say Becky Lynch or Charlotte or Sasha Banks or Bayley or Shayna Baszler or just some of these names that they can't hold these people's shoelaces or tie their shoes like these girls in the overseas, it's kind of ridiculous.
There's a little bit talent in U.S. sports.
It's different styles too.
I get it.
If you're talking about Stardom
and all that, have some wonderful and amazing athletes and women wrestlers in there. But to say it's that big of a difference is a little bit asinine. Come on now. We will make our own list. That it will happen.
I don't think anyone's ever disputed from WWE. The talent is there. It's just how you book it.
Right, absolutely.
You put, like your current full-time talent, like you wanted to do like an indie style Ring of Honor or whatever New Japan like lengthy match. You'll get some good shit. And they've shown that on Raw when they do these 25-minute matches. Like, yeah, that they're just to kill time, but the quality's there.
Absolutely, yeah. Again, thank you everybody for joining us. Before we go to NXT, the post to touch on NXT, don't forget we are live every Tuesdays and Saturday nights. Oh, Speeds, I have a soundbite that you're definitely going to probably use on Smart Tiers on Tuesday, or on Monday night for Crown Jewel. But yes, we're live every Tuesdays and Saturdays. Thank you guys for joining us. If you haven't already, hit that follow button if you're new to the show. We're over live on YouTube as well. If you can, hit that subscribe button over on the YouTubes. We'd appreciate that. We're at 89 subscribers on YouTube. We'd love to hit 90. Even by the end of the night, that would be awesome. So thank you guys for joining us. I think we're a little bit over how long on the show so far? I want to be sure. A little bit over an hour, almost an hour and a half so far. So we'll get going a little bit on the show. NXT, kind of a rundown. We had Nikki Cross take on Mercedes Martinez. Street Profits taking on the Mighty. Matt Riddle made his debut on NXT last night. Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch took on Mendoza and Carrillo. And then we found out what is going to be the main event, assumingly, at NXT War Games. So, I'm sure you haven't seen NXT yet, right, Alex?
No, I watched NXT.
Okay, so what did you think of Nikki Cross taking on Mercedes Martinez? Nikki Cross picks up the win. What'd you think of that?
It was an okay match. I mean, it was just like there, but obviously I was more excited for the ending with like Candice LeRae coming out and then leading to Black. So I like Black. I'm telling you guys, it's really Candice. You see how she's like wearing the dark makeup now too. So
she got some muscle too now. I was like, holy crap, she's been hitting the gym.
But no, it's good for like the storyline for Gargano and Black. Like Black's like his his like pretty much his future's over in NXT. So that was the big thing for the opening for me.
What about you, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed Nikki Cross, of course. Especially her stuff afterwards is funny too. But yeah, when Candice came out, and to me, that was the most interesting thing about the show on NXT was the whole black. Like they keep teasing like this intergender style stuff that they're gonna like. He's gonna hit her or something like that. I don't know how good that comes off to a lot of people, but they keep teasing like something like that. So first with Champa and Nikki, now this. So it does seem like she's kind of a heel now too in a way, so they're gonna go that route. Or he's gonna probably be the chicken shit heel who throws his wife in front of him or something like that.
She's back to being Johnny's wife, pretty much. Yeah, it looks like they're back to being the couple again. Next, we have the newly crowned Evolve Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, taking on the mighty Street Profits, the soon-to-be NXT Tag. I'm sorry, that's a little, that probably will never happen. Excuse me on that. Alex, any thoughts on the Street Profits defeating the mighty?
The mighty are mightily buried because not because like they're just losing Street Profits, but they have done nothing as heels. Like they don't like you took away like some of the stuff that even made them interesting, like they're high flying, like they try to be a more heel. So not really much for them. And for the Street Profits, it's more so that it's just the mighty and Street Profits. That's all they have for each other when we do see them on TV. So I wouldn't mind seeing them just wrestling up and Evolve for a bit. Come back, take some time off. Build something there, like down there, like go away for a month or something, and then just come back.
Yeah, I kind of had a moment last night, or actually I watched NXT today, and I was watching the Street Profits versus the Mighty, and as much as I love the Street Profits, and I do hope they succeed as a tag team, I just have a feeling that they're gonna. I can't think of his name. Montez Ford, correct? I always get the names mixed up.
Mrs. Belair
is going to go on 205 Live. Just have a feeling that they're going to break him up. I just have this feeling. Like, imagine him on 205 Live. I think he would.
What about Dawkins?
Dawkins, I don't know what they'll do with him. I just feel like the way that Ford wrestles and the way he acts and his athleticism, it's just perfect for 205 Live. And I do want them to continue as a tag team, but do you think that will happen? Do you think they split them up and put Ford on 205 Live, Alex?
I do think they'll split them up because I will say this: like, I definitely can see WWE seeing something bigger between Ford and Dawkins. Like you said, he's the charisma, like he's athletic, he's got a good look. He's married to Bianca Belair.
Yeah, that's good right there.
And then like I could definitely see they would want to keep him. Like, and he does like all the high spots in the match and everything. So yeah, I could see them splitting up. As for Dawkins, hey, I like Dawkins. I think it's good that he's getting a chance to try something. I know he's been on NXT for a while, but without this, I could hardly imagine him just being a backstage Raw split up guy.
I mean, it's too bad.
Huh?
Was the match entertaining to you?
No, because it's like no different than Raw. We see the match like every time any of them get time to come on TV, it's against each other.
Okay. What about you, Dave? What'd you think?
Of the match, I mean, it was okay, I guess. I mean, Mr. Belair did okay, I guess. And they actually got a win. This is no different than like when Crime Time would get an upset win over a tag team. And to talk about the Mighty really quick, I hate the Mighty. Not the wrestlers, but go back to TM61. I mean, just be them again. I mean, this is just,
boring.
I mean, it is, and it's like they were so high hopes for these guys coming in before they got hurt, and it's like, or one of them got hurt. Man, I just feel bad for the guys because we thought when we were doing the Dusty Classic, a lot of us said, "Oh, TM61 is going to win this. They lose in the first match."
They were the favorites.
Yeah, and it's crazy how they have fallen. So the Mighty have fallen.
Yeah, they have fallen big time.
I mean, it sucks. I mean, the other thing you asked, do I think they'll split them up? I mean, I don't think Ford has a chance on 205 Live because I don't think he can go with the way some of these guys go. I mean, I can't see him hanging with Mustafa Ali at all. So,
But I think
and
Ford could add like a personality, like a character. You know what I
oh
mean?
yeah, he could definitely add a character. Yeah, and
I'm saying like
for
205 needs stuff like that, just something to make you just watch.
hey, I mentioned earlier when I was watching that Rey Mysterio match, I was like, man, I could really see Rey Mysterio on 205 Live adding star power to it.
I mean, Ray is 205.
He is. Because are they going to give him the WE title? No. Are they going to give him the US title? Maybe. Maybe. I mean, he would actually be used well, I think, and booked pretty good on
Stop
205
trying to
Live.
get him on 205 Live and get Finn Balor on 205 Live. I think that's where we should be putting our momentum.
Yeah, but who would add more eyes to 205 Live? Balor or Rey Mysterio? Come on.
Ray.
Yeah, obviously Ray, but come on, man.
Now, I do think on Dawkins, I think what's going to happen to him if they do break up, I think he's going to be like, well, good luck on your future endeavors.
Oh, damn. All right. Backstage, we had Regal, and he announces that Ciampa will face Dream at NXT War Games for the NXT World Title.
Oh, brother.
And then after that, we saw Lars Sullivan outside, upset, throwing a little tantrum because he thinks that he deserves a title shot at Ciampa. So your thoughts on Ciampa versus Velveteen Dream at NXT War Games, Alex?
I mean, I'm actually looking forward to it. I mean, I think Velveteen Dream's been on the roster a good amount, like someone that's like gets consistent attention, like him to not have entered get an actual like NXT title shot, like it was eventually coming. Do I see him winning? No, but it's his first match, like actually going for the title. I think he's gonna be over shit, at Takeover because this is a big moment. But yeah, it's something. Hey, you can't say like they're doing the same old rematches like we see on the main roster. It's something new.
Yeah. What about you, Dave? What are your thoughts?
I mean, good. I'm happy for Dream to get this spot in a big main event spotlight, and of course, it's going to be another takeover that he loses. Even though he just did win one takeover match, which is against EC3, but I mean, man, I would much rather see Lars Sullivan versus Champ. Honestly, I'd rather see that match. But you know what? Good for him. I'm not going to crap on it too much, but to me, it doesn't really interest me as much as something else would. It just doesn't. It's not there for me. I mean, I think Black would be more interesting versus Ciampa, but we know where they're going with that.
All right, and do you think Lars Sullivan gets involved in the mix? Maybe make it a triple threat by the time War Games hits?
Maybe, because War Games is looking weak, if you ask me. I mean, because we know what the 4 matches are going to be, and it's like you're taking like 3 titles off of your show.
And that's very true. Matt Riddle made his debut last Wednesday night on NXT, taking on Luke Menzies. I thought the match was pretty nice. Nice little debut for Matt Riddle. Definitely over with the crowd. Alex, what did you think of Matt Riddle last Wednesday night?
Well, I know Matt Riddle. What do you think?
I enjoyed him. I liked him. I'm curious to see how far they go with him. Seeing all these rumors of them thinking that, or a lot of people thinking that he can be the next star in the WWE. I'm actually kind of curious to see what they do with him. Looks like he'll face Cassius Ohno, I'm assuming, at NXT War Games. Did you think they displayed him very well on Wednesday?
Yeah, I mean, I love the West Coast theme music. I felt like I was listening to like the Chronic from Dre. It was like awesome. So I'm glad they kept it. They gave him the bro vibe still. Like he's the king of bros. But when he got in the ring, like you saw the difference. Like he just went straight for the kill. At the end, I love how he just started hammering, elbowing the shit out of Menzies, and then just go and his the Twister submission was awesome. So yeah, I could see him. I could see them definitely going on him.
Red Sox fan says, I don't think Vince likes Riddle. Adam Baum also says in the chat room, I honestly don't find myself being entertained by NXT at this point. Just feels like they're trying. I honestly don't mind myself. I think being entertained by NXT at this point just feels like they're trying. I agree. They at least try on their show. They got storylines and developments, and things that make you tune in every week. That's what makes me excited for NXT each week. What about you, Dave? What did you think of Matt Riddle?
Hey, if you're not excited about this NXT right now, go watch NXT UK because man, last week Dar versus Gibson was unbelievable. So go watch that. You want just straight up wrestling? I mean, just go watch that because I would give you straight up wrestling and none of this other crap. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Riddle looked good. His music was interesting and kind of playing on what he's been doing anyway with his little MMA background to kind of show that and made that the main focal point, I think, a lot of it. And I was just surprised he lost.
Here it goes. He put honestly don't find myself being entertained by NXT at this point. Feels like they're trying to do all these big angles but haven't figured out when and where they'd be perfect. I feel you, but I actually kind of feel
I like that it's always something new to expect each week, you know?
Well, right. NXT is also going to be, we all think it's going to end up on Fox Sports 1 anyway next year. And so to me, that's why we're getting a lot of these more writers and more doing little storylines for NXT because it's getting bigger and it's growing and you want it to grow. Yes, it's not the same NXT you used to get on Hulu and it only air like once a week and you get, just wrestling. It's not Florida Championship Wrestling anymore like it was where you would get just wrestling on it and good matches. To me now,
NXT UK is great because they're not bothering with shoving big angles down our throats.
Yeah, and I don't mind giving angles to NXT because it makes it a little more interesting too. Especially if you're trying to capture that Monday Night Raw and Tuesday Night SmackDown audience. If you do put it on TV next year, you have storylines and angles to attract people in. Like, oh, this is interesting,
and like care about these like NXT stars.
Yeah. I mean, also, speaking of NXT, Punishment Martinez made his debut, I believe, last night, or it may have been tonight. No, last night. I'm sorry, at a house show for NXT. So it looks like we may see him in the next couple of weeks making his.
Now that's someone I worry about.
Roster, but TV debut.
Yeah. Now he's someone I worry about a lot though for WWE because I just don't know. His character worked so well on the Indies because he was able to be free will with it. I just don't know what they're gonna do with him in a WPG product. I just don't.
What about you, Alex?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think with Punishment, like I like Punishment. You know, like I have to say, like for the last year, he's been like I know for like longer, but for I became like started to turn on him. Like I thought he's pretty good, damn good for a big man. He's a better version of Corbin. Like
that's what I was. Yeah, that's what I thought when I first seen him in ROH.
He's what Corbin is actually trying to be, and also Punishment's doesn't have to shave his head. So
yeah, and he's athletic as hell too. I mean,
he does man. So I think if they keep him anywhere like that, where he's just this like no bullshit dark fuck you up type of guy, I'm all for it. But he's just another big man. Like say that. Who cares?
I was just gonna say that. He also adds kind of at least on the Indies and at ROH, he added kind of like a Vampiro vibe to him as well too. So it was like.
Oh, by the way, can I just mention? I didn't say this last week. Shout out to the New Day doing the fucking Brood. Oh my god.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah. So yeah, that was good.
Oh yeah, we didn't touch on it. What did everyone think of the magic carpet ride the New Day got?
Oh yeah, that's probably had the best entrance of the night, if anything. Let's see. WC Miller asked, "Do you see another big signing to be in the takeover crowd?" You would have to believe DC match starts in 5 or 10 minutes. All right, we'll start wrapping this up because if Brock Lesnar shows up, it's going to be crazy. I don't know. You would think that night they're going to have to go all out because the Madison Square Garden show with ROH and New Japan. So they're going to probably do what they can to do everything imaginable to beat that show across town. We had Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch in a tag match. Nothing really to talk about there, but the main news was the War Games match was finally announced. It'll be the War Raiders, Ricochet, and Pete Dunne taking on Undisputed Era. All 4 members will be in the War Games match. your thoughts on the War Games well, I'm not gonna say main event, but the War Games match itself, Alex.
Well, it's like Dave says, like you have three of your titles like taking up the match, but I mean, War Games was a big hit. The match itself, like last year, I mean, with the current talent, like I said, in terms of a group, like when you're guaranteed like damn good matches, put Undisputed Era in there, and you'll get that. And then now you have Pete Dunne and Ricochet, and then War Raiders and War Games, like it's perfect. So it'll be I think it's gonna be a hell of a lot of fun. But yeah, can't wait for it.
Dave?
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a good match. I mean, nothing against this, but I was more excited for the match last year than probably this one right now. But
Well, that's
the match last year was awesome.
You had like three different tag teams. This is more like now like just two big tag teams.
Yeah, I get it. It'll be fun. I mean, I'm sure it'll be a fun match, and to see what they can do to how do you top this type thing. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. But I mean, yeah, I'm sure the match will be good. It's just, yeah, I'm not a big fan of them tying up like almost over half their titles, North American title, tag titles. If you want to throw in the UK title, I guess that's another one tied up that could be. I mean, three of your main, you're gonna have one title match at or unless there's a women's match, and you'll have two title matches at Takeover, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, possibly Black versus Gargano, Riddle versus Ono.
And also, I hope maybe we get two women's matches, because do you think they would have to give us Bianca Belair and Nikki Cross again?
It's a possibility. So, rating NXT from Wednesday night, Dave, what would you give it?
I wasn't that interested in it. I'll give it like a 1. I didn't think it was that good.
All right, Alex?
Yeah, I'll give it a 3. It still kept me going, but it wasn't anything like after some of the stuff we've seen in the last few weeks. It's like kind of a cool down.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fair enough.
Now, if you asked me to rate NXT UK, I'd give it probably a 4, because that show was awesome.
So I haven't seen NXT UK and I haven't seen Impact Wrestling, so we're not going to touch too much on Impact Wrestling tonight, but we will next week, because next week
on UK.
Yes.
I have a question for Dave. Could you imagine if Zack Sabre was on NXT UK?
Whoa.
Man, that'd be awesome. I mean, geez. I mean, the matches we've been getting on there the last 3 weeks have been awesome. One thing that surprised me, though, is when I looked down there to watch it today, or yesterday, or whenever it was, there was an extra episode added. So they added next week's episode already up there. So that kind of surprised me. Okay, this is up there already.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, I already saw that Red Sox fan, Ken Shamrock, coming back to the ring, but does really anybody give a fuck?
Who's he fighting? Is he fighting or
wrestling?
Wrestling. Oh, wrestling. Well, he might not lose then.
I mean, does anybody really care? I mean, congrats. I hope he does well. But I didn't really feel like that was big wrestling news. I apologize.
Tony, come on. You know you're excited, because I can verify this from Tony. When we found out Kimbo Slice versus Ken Shamrock, me and Tony were both watching that.
Yeah, that's true. He got his ass whooped, but yeah, I watched it. So next week, we're not going to touch on Impact tonight. We'll touch on it next week, because next week is their big show, their final hour, where we have Johnny Impact taking on Killer Cross for the Impact World Championship. We'll also have Eli Drake and Joseph Parks addressing the Impact Wrestling. We'll have Eddie Edwards taking on Moose. Jordan Grace also debuts next week. Did I miss anything else, Dave?
Yes, Brian Cage versus Sami Callihan in Ohio.
Okay, yes. Brian Cage is going to Ohio, everybody, and he will be facing Sami Callihan. So
for the X Division title.
Oh, for the X Division title as well. So out of all those matches, Dave, which one are you most looking forward to next Thursday night, excuse me.
I'm interested to see what they do with Callihan and Cage, but yeah, I'm interested. I guess Cross and Impact, which we know, unfortunately, Cross isn't going to win, but okay, someone's watching the network.
All right, Alex, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to say.
You don't have a match that you're looking forward to?
Um, Not as of yet. I'm still waiting.
All right, Killer Cross and Johnny Impact is the match that I'm absolutely looking forward to because I'm
Well, it
interested to
depends
see.
if is Cage and Callan just gonna be a one? Is it just gonna be a regular? Is it gonna be like a no holds barred type of thing?
I'm
Uh,
not sure.
it was funny. Not to spoil too much of Impact for you, but it was funny what they did because they showed one of those matches at another location. And they had Sammy Callahan versus Mini Cage, and he beat him and walks out with some little exhibition, Titus exhibition on it.
Oh
So that
god.
was funny. So yeah, so Cage is going to Ohio, and I guess have to beat up everyone in Ohio because everyone in Ohio is like that. I guess that's what they were saying.
All right, so next week we'll touch on Final Hour. We'll go over NXT as well on 205 Live. And any fallout from Raw and SmackDown Live as well. So,
Guys, 2 weeks to Survivor Series.
yeah, a couple of more weeks till Survivor Series as well. So we'll be doing obviously a post show after Survivor Series. We'll be doing a giveaway everybody next weekend. So please, 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 if you haven't already, go to our YouTube, hit that subscribe button so you can have a chance of winning a official WWE T-shirt or Impact T-shirt. If you're an Impact fan, you can I'll even do an Impact Wrestling T-shirt since they have a fan shop now with updated merchandise. So we'll do WWE or Impact Wrestling T-shirt. All you got to do is go over to our YouTube and hit that subscribe button, and you'll be automatically entered into the giveaway.
Awesome.
Alex, will you be joining us Tuesday night?
Probably not. Crazy month, guys.
All right, crazy month for Alex. So it'll be Dave and I for Tuesday night, and everybody, special announcement next weekend on Saturday. If Alex is not available, Dave has a shindig to go to, so it could possibly be a single solo night for me on Shoot the Shit. So maybe we'll take some phone calls, maybe do some stuff that we usually don't do on the show. Get y'all guys maybe calling in, stuff like that. So keep that in mind, and we'll make the official announcement on Tuesday. So any last wrestling thoughts before we end tonight's show, Alex, and come back to you guys live on Tuesday night?
Well, I'm going to actually watch the New Japan show because Chris Jericho's wrestling tonight. So looking forward to that. But we got 2 weeks till Survivor Series, so it's you don't really need to build it because it's just Raw versus SmackDown. Doesn't mean anything. You just get excited for good matches. But yeah, Raw's Monday, guys. Have fun. Let's go do it.
What time is that show, Alex?
So, the New Japan already happened. I'm just catching up.
Oh,
Yeah,
is there any good?
the struggle was, I think, this morning, I believe.
Yep.
Okay. Was there any other interesting matches on that card to check out?
They had the finals of the tag team tournament. It was like a triple threat tag. Pretty damn good match from what I understand. Jericho versus Evil.
I got you, DX.
Tomo Ishii versus Suzuki. So yeah, probably like three like worth staying up and watching a little bit.
All right, and Dave, any last wrestling thoughts before we're live on to? Oh, look at Bliss! You might be calling in, my friend. That'd be awesome. I mean, y'all all are welcome to call in, and I'm making a special invite for the Red Sox fan to please, please, please call in. Texas Kid, if you're still in here as well, I want your fucking ass to call in too. So please call in next weekend as well. Dave, any last thoughts till Tuesday?
Yeah, I will. If I can get back at some point in time during the show, I might try to pop on, but I'll let you know.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm curious. Did anyone watch that Jericho Cruise? I didn't watch it, but anyone else watch the Jericho Cruise yet?
No, I watched highlights.
I don't know. Was that any good?
It's on your Fight app, Dave. If you go to your Fight app, you can watch it.
Yeah, I didn't know if you watched it yet.
I have not watched it yet. Nope,
Okay.
Nope. I know it was on Twitter, and I had to stay off Twitter because people were using GIFs and stuff because I know it was on. So I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to watch it tomorrow morning before football starts.
Here's some news really quick. I know we're trying to get off here, but I was wondering, Alex might know a little bit about this. I've been hearing these rumors. This was a few weeks ago I heard about this, just forgot about it. that New Japan is trying to go after people for using GIFs
Yeah.
now.
Yep.
Like so I thought that was interesting. That's because it's considered part of copyright. They're saying.
No,
Yep.
yeah, I saw that. And they're like, they took down like a lot of like. There's like one guy named Italo Santana. I know he puts out a lot of gifts for New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like the gift, like right, like you know, you guys know TDE, right? They put out a really good point. They're like, you realize like putting the show, like posting these gifts of New Japan wrestling, like is what got you guys like a lot of attention. Like I can't remember a time back in like 2016 where everyone like was talking about the Ricochet and Will Ospreay like gifts they were seeing. They're like, holy shit, this is what they're doing here. Like it gave them a lot of like mainstream popularity. I would argue.
Yeah, even with Jericho when he showed up, there was a lot of that going around too.
Yeah, so that's I'm sure people have heard about that. I think I heard about that last week too. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. New Japan makes their own rules. He's got to abide by them. What about Access TV opening a time slot for a new wrestling company? Hey, there you go. I haven't heard about that.
I did see during Impact, which is because it's part of the AAA, I think. But what is it, Aero Lucha? They did a commercial for it during Impact. So I don't think it's going to Impact, but I'm just saying I've seen a commercial because that's a company I believe ran by like Rey Mysterio and Conan. So that's interesting.
Oh, all right, so let's end the night on one last little special of the lady ranting, and then we'll end tonight's show with some special theme music, and we'll be back with you guys on Tuesday night.
Fuck you, WWE. Barry Braun Strowman for Brock fucking Lesnar to win the goddamn Universal Championship again, and after Survivor Series, I'm sure we won't see him for another 6 fucking months. Great fucking job.
All right, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Don't forget, change your clocks. We go an hour back, and well, I think shit already. There's an hour and a back, I believe, at midnight. So, or what is it? Midnight my time, maybe. We go an hour back. So don't forget.
It's like 3 a.m. here.
Yeah, all right, 2 a.m. Don't forget to change your clock on 3 a.m. Eastern time. Don't forget to change your clocks because we go an hour back, everybody. Don't forget about that. We'll be live with you guys back on Tuesday. Let's do a quick little shout out to Adam Awesome, Kevin, Will Miller, Alice, Jeffrey Cross. Again, thank you for the Super Hearts as well. Bliss, Red Sox fan, Mushako, Mavs fan, Rayo, Joe Mama, Ray Toddy, Joey 23, Mason Rain, stand-up comedian. Thank you for joining us. Johnny Flores, Jody Mania, Big Joe, thank you for the Super Hard Speeds, Dr. Huge, all you guys who came in here and gave me gave us the Super Hearts tonight. Really do appreciate that. Thank you all so much for joining us and interacting with us. WC Miller, thank you for joining us as well. And yeah, that's gonna pretty much wrap it up. I hope everybody has a great Sunday as well as they had hopefully a good Saturday as well. If you're watching UFC, enjoy the fights. If you're not, have a great rest of your evening. We'll be back with you guys on Tuesday. Thank you so much for the over 3,000? Is it 3,000 viewers tonight? Almost 4,000 viewers tonight, man. Absolutely.
Thank you, Alex.
Awesome.
Let me just mute this motherfucker. Men in
He's
underwear.
Mute you, Alex.
Yeah, yeah, right. I've never had. I'm married. What is it? Who is this troll? Where's the moderators, guys? Come on, moderators, get this stupid ass out of here. I think Bob Ruski's left and Adam Bomb's gone. But anyways, might have to do an extra moderator sometimes when these stupid asses come in here. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us. 4,000 viewers tonight. You guys are awesome. Appreciate the support. Appreciate you guys coming in here every night and giving us the Super Hearts and all this other good stuff. So be back with you guys on Red Sox fan, but I didn't moderate you. I haven't moderated you yet. I got you. Jeffrey Cross, I think I'm going to do as well. So appreciate everybody for joining us. You guys have a great night. We're going to end you guys with some awesome music. I think you all are going to enjoy. Thank you guys again. You guys are awesome, and we will see you Tuesday night.
Peace.